Rahul is earning 30 lakhs per year, a pretty good salary in India, right? And whenever he takes his salary home every month, he's pretty happy. He goes to a restaurant, have a nice dinner and come back home. But let's look at what is he actually earning, what is he actually paying as tax, and what is happening with his money. The first thing, when somebody is earning around 30 lakhs, roughly, I'm not going into the exact numbers, but they're at least paying 20% of that money as tax. So 6 lakhs. 24 lakhs is what Rahul is actually taking home. And in that 24 lakhs, when he's going out to a restaurant, on the food bill, he's paying 2.5% of CGST and 2.5% of GST. If he's taking his bike and coming back home, then on the petrol price itself, there is probably 30 to 40 rupees which goes into the tax. Now, these are indirect taxes. We don't even know how much we are paying through indirect taxes. The basic necessities. Next morning you wake up and you use a toothbrush, toothpaste. Can you guess what is the percentage of GST on these goods? On the Colgate toothpaste, you get the price as inclusive of taxes, but the taxes is 18% GST. So the amount of taxes, indirect taxes that we pay is just, we don't even know the total number. And this is the basic necessities. If you are going into the luxury or just a step up in terms of purchases, let's say you want to go and buy a car, then you have to pay registration charge, road tax and whatnot. If you are buying a home, then stamp duty, registration fee, and again, a lot more of these things come into the picture. And all these taxes together could roughly equate to probably 50 to 60% of our overall income in 30 lakhs. So Rahul technically is working for half the year just to pay taxes to the government. Now you might say, hey, but I still save a lot of money and I'm happy to pay taxes. So let's get to the tax portion later. But if you're happy with paying these taxes and if you're saving, then even on the savings, you have to pay taxes. There are only two things that we can do with our money, right? Either we spend or we save. Let's assume you go save in an FD and the interest that you earn, that is also taxable. And if you take a little more risk and say, hey, I want to invest in stock markets, then again, if you have to bear losses, nobody will touch you. Nobody cares about you. Your losses, your problem. But if you actually make some money, then you have to pay capital gains taxes, long-term capital gains tax and again short-term capital gains tax. Now you might say, hey Pavan, why are you telling me so many things? Isn't this how every country works? I agree, every country works the same way. You have to continue paying taxes. But the difference is, what are the services that you receive? As a salaried employee, you have the right to ask for these basic services. The first thing is education. Do you send your kids to a government school? Do you even have a thought of sending your kids to the government school? No, not really. But if you look at the US, I'm taking the reference of the US because we are taxed like US. If you look at the US, 80% of the kids go to public schools. And India, whoever is even going to a public school, they want to move their kids to private schools at the first given opportunity. Now let's talk about the infrastructure. Forget about education. Yesterday, a 26-year-old UPSC aspirant had died in Delhi because of current shock on waterlogged roads. That is the level of infrastructure that we are getting because of the taxes we are paying. Now you might say, hey Pavan, but this is a huge country. So whatever tax we pay is not sufficient for the development of the country. No, again, I do not agree. The reason is, in this country, only 3% of the population pay taxes, any type of taxes. 97% of the population does not pay taxes. And can you guess the corresponding number in the US? It is 60%. 60% of the households pay taxes, not even individuals. So that would account for a lot more people. And that is the fundamental difference. For you to get good services for the amount of taxes, direct and indirect taxes that you are paying, a lot more number of people should be paying taxes. However, what the government does is tweak the income tax brackets, give some freebies, says that, hey, 17,500 is what you can save on taxes. By the way, cutting down or increasing the long-term, short-term capital gains tax. No, this is not the solution. The solution is getting more and more people under the tax brackets. Now, we can't control that. That is a policy level change. Governments keep coming and going, but they do not want to touch that because there are political donations, there are a lot of big wigs that come into the picture and they do not want to touch them. So what can we do fundamentally different? Number one, there is a reason why a lot of people actually want to go abroad. That is Very, very simple. You pay taxes in the West and you get the lifestyle of the West. You can't blame anybody, my friend. It's the personal choice. Number 2, you go ahead and start your business. Well, the Indian governments provide a lot more flexibility with respect to taxation for business owners because you're also creating employment, which is very, very important for the country. As a business owner, you are given a lot of provisions and you can avoid a lot of indirect taxes. So this is a very good way for you to be a legally tax-paying citizen of the country and also at the same time enjoy a lot of perks. But the million-dollar question is, how do you start a business? You have no time absolutely in your day-to-day corporate life. How can you even think about starting a business? So I just want to make sure that you are aware about an opportunity where you are continuously learning about the business fundamentals. Yes, I recently started a company called Inquisitive Minds. It's a continuous learning platform where on a weekly basis, you get to learn and hear from experts. You network with people from different age brackets, different work experience. And number 3, you have some problem solving exercises around how businesses function, what are the problems they are solving. This is just a start and you can do a lot more on the platform. And in my opinion, these are the things that we can't avoid. You just get started and see where things will eventually land. The next one is you have to start raising your voice. It's not just that, hey, you'll continue to accept everything that comes your way. We are a welfare-driven economy, which means that there are a lot of people towards whom government policies favor. But we are a salaried employee class which nobody is talking about. The indirect taxes have to be there because you need to collect taxes from everybody on petrol, on toothpaste, toothbrush, whatever. But as a salaried employee, you are also paying the direct taxes. So you need to raise your voice and you need to get these things out into the market. You need to make sure that everybody is aware about these problems. So start raising your voice and create forums. Then the 4th option in front of you, you forget all of this, just continue to move on being a salaried employee and pay taxes as you go. Now, what is the outcome? We drink polluted air and we do not even have access to fresh water. That is the reason why we get services like Uganda, but we pay taxes like the US. Do think about it because it is not somebody else's problem. It is our problem. See you again in the next one. Bye-bye.